Good morning, everyone. It's Friday morning here. You're watching the Kaiser Report. Welcome back. And if you're glued to your TV sets to look at the new and upcoming campaign being held by Harris and Walz, you'll find that you have a bevy of past presidents out there trying to spark and ignite some interest in this campaign that has fell flat on its face. We have situations going on with her that are unbelievable at this point, this close to an election, to where she's going out and learning new accents as she did here. I'll show you in a minute. Her Spanish accent that she tried to portray in Nevada, speaking to the Latin assembly that was there. She kind of is a chameleon when it comes to getting her point across and deciding what accent to use for what fan base that she has in front of her, which are very, very limited numbers of people that are coming out to her rallies to begin with. So we have that amusement for ourselves when lefties losing it run all of the things on here on YouTube pointing these things out. Just take a look at this.
The administration didn't do enough in terms of relief for families affected by hurricane. What would your administration do differently in the case of Milton?
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. I hope your family is okay and your home is okay.
Yes, they are.
Okay. So,
Why do you talk that way?
I hope your family is okay and your home is okay.
A few moments later.
Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? The only question I ever ask is, are you okay? And sadly, we have seen over the last 2 weeks.
Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter?
And I tell you, this is not the first time. They had to literally try to remove Walz's wife from singing at the group, some kind of a football chant that she took off doing, which pissed off Kamala. And it continues with the knucklehead there, and it's Harris and the knucklehead show on almost a daily basis now that we can see on these campaign trails. All while most of this nation right now, from the Carolinas down to Florida, are trying to recover from 2 hurricanes back-to-back. Florida has been devastated over the last couple of days. Not only the hurricane, but the tornadoes that are whipped up there have caused a lot of damage in Florida. My heart goes out to those people, and I'm sure that Governor DeSantis and his group down there are doing a fabulous job at trying to get the cleanup underway and get power back to these people. Joe Biden came out and had a presser the other day where he started out about the hurricanes and relief efforts and then took off on Donald Trump, which made little to no sense because they were a week late getting in there, and it was as early as this morning that Mayorkas again said that he has no money for these relief efforts. So someone along the line here is telling a fib and not being exactly honest in their appraisal of what's going on with the relief efforts for both the western North Carolina, Georgia, East Tennessee, and now Florida, which is in dire need of some help from the federal government, as well as all of the faith-based organizations and past presidents that show up on time with some help, along with Elon Musk, who tried to get communications back up using his Starlink and has been maligned for it. So you figure out, like I'm trying to figure out, why anyone would malign someone that has been that magnanimous in trying to help people that are in very bad straits right now due to weather conditions that I'm sure the left will very soon be shouting climate change is the result or the cause of all of this. Because that's what their agenda is based on, the new Green Deal and all of that nonsense that has buried the possibilities for the Democrats to come back alive in this campaign that she is trying to run. The word salads that go on that when she's asked questions are very interesting. She has memorized talking points, and the talking points that she has are old right now and not holding a lot of water. And the polls and the different organizations that are trying to softball interview her to get her some interest back are not getting the answers. And you can watch it in their eyes and their reactions from Oprah Winfrey on down to the CBS 60 Minute show that she was on, and could not piece together correct answers in response to the interrogatories that these people are asking her. And they're not difficult questions. They're questions, so softball that anyone, a ninth grader, could answer it. And speaking of ninth graders, that's where she is at a level in sentence structure, in my estimation. And I listened to Hewitt this morning, and he feels much the same. Here's a guy that teaches law students, and he said one of the things that you have to be most aware of is sentence structure when you're in front of a judge and jury, which she should have been practiced at, because she said that she is and has been this great prosecutor in her past life. Well, now she has Barack Obama pandering for her to save her from the pit that she has gotten herself into with her VP pick and her inability to bring together a solid program of explaining how it is that she is going to be any different than Joe Biden has been, and she has been his vice president and still is. Why hasn't the things that she said that she can accomplish on day one been done by day one, which was a long, long time ago? Almost 4 years ago was her day one. She said that she has been side by side in every decision that Joe Biden has made. Joe Biden has parroted that and said that she has been involved in every decision that this administration has made. This should enlighten you all out there wondering how to cast a vote on which way to go, because you have 4 years of a track record to look back on with a wide open border. She wants to give amnesty and citizenship to all of these 10 and 11 million people that she is responsible for letting through the border, along with Mayorkas, who has been in charge of the border as well as she has, and done nothing to fix it. And she says the other day in an interview that there is not going to be any difference between her and the current administration. So she's owning what she has messed up, and she is telling you, if you take the minute to listen to exactly what she says, there it is. Nothing will change. It will get worse from day one, right on down to the rest of the time that she spends in office now. And if she is reelected, you are going to get 4 more years of the same, but it'll be the last election that you will ever matter, your vote will ever matter in, because she will pack the Supreme Court and pack the voting registers with the people that are in this country illegally, and she, as a prosecutor, should understand this.
You hearing this?
So here we are on Friday, going into a weekend of more uncertainty, with polls showing all kinds of different things. You don't know what poll to believe, so I urge you, do not buy off on mainstream media's attempt to tell you that she's ahead or he's ahead and this is that and this is that, because they want you to stand down and say, well, it doesn't matter if I go out and vote because so-and-so is so far ahead. Not true, and we need your vote. Everyone out there listening to this broadcast and any other broadcast in this election cycle needs to early vote. Get your vote in early, and if you're going to vote on day of election, make sure that your vote counts, and make sure that if you see something wrong in your polling station, let someone know about it.
Yeah.
The desperation on the part of the Democratic Party right now is so obvious and so in your face that you have to understand that something is not right here. And they will try to cheat in some fashion because this is all they have left. The fear on the left-hand side is palpable, as well as some on the right, with this Diddy thing that's going on and the name of names that will ensue if something doesn't happen. And he's applied for early release. His attorneys, as late as yesterday, were petitioning the courts to have him released from lockdown that he's in. And guess where he's locked down? In the same fashion as they did with Epstein. And the big fear is that he'll be on suicide watch, and I'd watch out for that. And I'd like to know where Hillary is these days, because she could be close by.
These things must be done delicately.
Anyway, the fear of him releasing what he knows and naming names is palpable. And it was palpable with Epstein, and they cut some kind of a deal with Ghislaine along the way to silence her, and we're not sure where that went or how it's going or even where she is. There's a lot to be afraid of for these politicians that were backing the lawfare that was used against these people and Donald Trump, trying to influence an election, and had influenced an election in 2020. They're going to try to influence, and they are trying to influence the election in 2024, which we are facing now. So we need to wake up, and we have to understand that your vote is very, very crucial right now. And if you have family members or friends that are thinking about abstaining from voting, urge them. And I don't care what side they want to vote on, but they need to vote. And if they have half a brain, they'll know which way to vote. And we all do now. It's plain and simple what's going on, and we're watching it happen, and it's before your very eyes. The media has been bought out and paid for to cover things up. This is why you hear nothing other than what they want to use as a distraction in today's news cycle. The big distractions right now, of course, are the hurricanes, and that's a valid distraction because these people are suffering and need the government's help, and they need our personal help where possible. And the distractions that we don't want to hear about are Diddy and lies about a candidate or a sitting president coming out and getting angry over something that he has no control over and calling somebody a liar or calling them names. And the other side does it too. I understand. Don't tell me and don't write me about how many name calling that Donald Trump does. I know that. I grew up in that area, and I understand how people are. I had a grandmother that had names for everybody walking down the street. That was Queens. And he is a product of Queens, New York. And if you understand that, you'll understand the man. But I also know, having been around people in the construction area of New York, in New York City proper, and operating engineers that were very close friends of mine that had to deal with people like Donald Trump. This is what a builder is doing in New York and making a living and making a good living, but also building a community that is worth something. And if that aggravates you as a person, or his demeanor aggravates you as a person, you're not voting for either of those. You're voting for someone who has the experience to steer this country as a ship through troubled waters right now and coming out the other side with a full set of sails and going into the future with wealth, strength, and integrity as a country, not someone's personality. And when you have an opposing opponent that cannot put together a coherent paragraph without telling you about, well, time is time, and we're unburdened by this and that. This is gobbledygook, psychobabble that is not going to play well with world leaders around the world that are watching us on a daily process of ruining the country and doing criminal acts against our Constitution. And no one is pointing a finger, and no one is prosecuting these crimes, and no one in this government is paid for any of the crimes that have been committed in these last 4 years. So with that, we're going to say it's Friday. We're looking forward to a nice weekend here in East Tennessee. A lot of people here in East Tennessee, and especially up around Roan Mountain, are still digging out and trying to restore power in some areas. Irwin and places of that nature are reeling from the past effects of Helene, the hurricane that came through straight up into Appalachia unexpectedly. And mountain people are resilient people and very tough people, and we're ready and willing to help out anywhere we can. Neighbor helping neighbor. That's what this country used to be and will be one more time if we get out and vote properly. So on Friday, the Kaiser Report will be taking the weekend off. We have still a lot of downed trees here on our property that have to be taken care of, and we're going to do that slowly through the advent of winter. Get the firewood cut and get prepared. And I wish you all will be prepared and have certain things on hand for the next thing that is unexpected happening, such as getting water supplies and meals ready to eat that will last for a period of time that you can feed your family in the case of a disaster like what hit here and now in Florida. So be prepared, get a generator working, and make sure that you're going to have some source of power. And if you're working on getting internet back into your houses or back for the first time in some cases, look into Starlink. It may be the answer you want, and you'll always have communication even with the power down, because you're not reliant on the cell phone towers that blow over. So that's a thought for the weekend for you. And also, if you are shopping for some meat, I know some of the grocery stores in the affected areas have some empty shelves here and their meat is either very high priced or scarce right now, because the delivery trucks have not been able to get in. And if you're looking at shopping at an Ingles store, and all of their warehousing comes out of the Asheville area that was hit very hard. So you may want to look for an alternative program. But if you're looking for meats, don't forget Lazy J Farms and Butcher Shop in Kingsport, Tennessee. And if you want something shipped to you, get in there, call in on Wednesday or Thursday and ask Butch to get the certain cuts that you want and get it shipped to you, and they'll overnight it for you. And if you're lucky enough to be in this area and you can go into the butcher shop where I will be headed in a little bit, then you can pick up some of the finest meats, pork, chicken, and blonde Aquitaine cattle that is absolutely to die for. So you want to go in there. The prices are very reasonable, and they will take personal care of you, and they are a sponsor for the Kaiser Report, and that's why we talk about them. And you can find them on Facebook under Lazy J Farms and Butcher Shop, or you can go online and look for Lazy J Farms, and they have a website. And, of course, you can go into Kingsport in Bloomingdale Road and visit them. And don't forget to tell them Kaiser sent you. Kaiser and I will be heading there shortly. So I would like to wish you all a very happy and healthy weekend ahead. And please stay safe and stay cognizant of everything around you, and help where you can if you see someone in need. God bless, and bye-bye for now. We'll see you on Monday morning right back here on the Kaiser Report.